What's going on, guys? Today we have a video on Chamber, and with Chamber's release, honestly, I wasn't really sold on him as like a good agent. I thought that his sheriff being an ability was kind of a troll. I'm not gonna lie, and I just thought that why would you want to pick Cypher or Killjoy over a Chamber? Cypher and Killjoy just offer a lot more utility, more info gathering ability. But as I watched him in these first pro matches ever that I want to share with you today, I started to realize that, Chambers are actually pretty good. I think that in the right hands, I think that he could actually be almost like overpowered, in some situations. And I figured today we go over some of the first pro matches that we've seen, Chamber being used, one being NRG versus XSET. This is a really good game. I highly suggest you check the series out. Granted, this was just in an NSG Open, so I'm not too sure, what exactly they're busting out here, but I figured before VCT 2022 starts, we go over some Chamber gameplay, see how he shakes up the meta and just why he's really good. So, why is Chamber really good, right? Well, basically, on defense, when you're going up against a Jet, right, you really need to use certain utility to clear the Jet out, like drone, dog, whatever. Because of Jet's dash, she can basically just sit there, be good for one, dash out, take a gunfight, dash out, or whatever, and then or maybe do some damage, and she's pretty happy with that, right? And Chamber really acts in the same way, where he can sit in like a super stupid off angle. Like, for example, if you're sitting on catwalk on Ascent, like on this map or whatever, you can go deeper into catwalk and take like an even deeper, weirder off angle and still be able to get out, basically. He can basically play even more riskier than Arena or Jet would, and he basically forces the enemy team to use his utility in order to clear him out, which I think is just super strong. And not only that, the first round we're going to talk about here is the pistol round. Pistol round is really strong because you can buy 4 bullets in armor, which is insane. Let me see if I can. Let me play out the first round here, because I was going to show you guys, but I'll just play the first round. So if you take a look at NRG setup, they have their Chamber playing B main all by himself, and they're forming sort of like a triple push for the same main. They're really fighting for the same main control. So Jet gets really aggressive plus the KO knife, so that it looks like they're pushing this A main area. So in response, you're going to see XSET sort of maybe test out B main, see what's going on over here. And this, like I said, is where Chamber is at his strongest. Like, Andrew is a really good player, really good mechanically gifted player. So he's literally just sitting at this off angle, holding it crosshair, he's just holding, head level, good crosshair placement and everything. He's waiting for Aaron to cross, or whatever, XSET to cross. He gets one, he gets out immediately. And this is really big when playing Chamber, because when you're playing Chamber, what I notice a lot, what people do in ranked games, is that they'll get way too greedy. And that's a really big problem playing Chamber, because think about it this way. If you have a Cypher on your team, and let's replace in that situation the Cypher with a Chamber, right? Or the Chamber with a Cypher, right? Let's say, for example, you have a trip up mid and you have a trip up catwalk. You don't want your Cypher to die, because on defense, his utility is holding a lot of map control. And Chamber's alarm bots do the exact same thing that Cypher tripwires would do. Granted, I don't know if they're as strong, but they still provide the same amount of information that a Cypher tripwire would. So with Chamber, you need to find that balance of getting aggressive, trying to play for information, trying to bait out utility, right? But without throwing your life away, because your life to the team is extremely valuable. And again, because the enemy team, because XSET didn't use a drone or anything here, they got punished for it. He just sits here, holds crosser, he just holds head level, and they don't expect Android to be there. I mean, you can't. It's almost impossible. And that's what makes Chamber really strong. So like I said, his alarm bots work really well. They work good with Astra because she's super meta still. It sort of gives the Astra a better idea when to use her sucks and whatnot. His ult is super stupid strong. I'm gonna do Ascent for this video, but my next video I'm gonna do Icebox, and we're gonna see his ult is stupid strong. It's a Marshal and an Operator plus slows. Like with a really good player behind the Chamber, he just becomes overpowered. And then what I noticed on offense, he just acts like any other Sentinel. He holds map control. He can lurk, go for picks and whatnot. His alarm bots again hold really good map control as well. And he can gather information really well, right? So let's say, for example, I'm going to pause this. Let's say I'm playing Chamber. All right, I'll have my alarm bot set up for B main to watch the B main cross, and let's say my teammates are working A main, right? So I'll put my TP sort of maybe in spawn or like somewhere along this wall, and I'll throw my TP sort of here, like in this tiles area. And what I'll do with this is I'll start jiggling angles. I'll jiggle catwalk, I'll jiggle mid, all right? Or maybe I'll see a jet maybe peeking bot mid, but I'll see a Sova arrow from catwalk, or vice versa, whatever. And then maybe I see jet and Reyna peeking together, and I see the Sova arrow, so I can call to my team, hey, there's 3 mid, just like a Cypher camera would, or maybe like a Killjoy turret would, sort of, you know. But then again, the same problem arises where you need to understand when you need to get out, because if you get greedy and you try to kill maybe with the jet and the Reyna, they're going to trade you out. I mean, Chambers TP isn't instantaneous, but it's fast enough to where you should be able to get out if you want to. But if you do die here and you get too greedy, your team loses all this map control. So let's say, for example, you got 4 guys like pushing a main, trying to work picks and whatnot, and then you die here. Your alarm bot goes down. You're dead, obviously, and the enemy team can just push up and take all this map control for free. So Chamber, in a way, like Cypher's camera gets information by vision, obviously. Killjoy's turret does it by her swinging off it or it pinging, whatever, like letting her know when somebody pushes a certain area. And Chamber is the same way, except that he uses his body, he uses his guns. He's like, I don't want to say he's like the Jet Sentinel or whatever, because I don't think it's a good comparison. You know, people are comparing him to Jet. I just think that he prefers to use his guns rather than utility to gather information. And I think with a really good mechanical player, you can really take advantage of this. So you saw Pissed around here. You saw that he was pretty strong. I mean, granted, NRG lost the round. You saw him whiff a few shots on the stairs guy, but I still think Chamber's really strong. But that being said, I'm going to take us to another round. All right, so I'm taking us over to round 2, I believe, yeah. And the thing I like about Chamber as well is that because of his sheriff, he can almost win teams like rounds single-handedly. And what I mean by that is that his sheriff is really strong. And when people call it a sheriff, it's not really a sheriff. It's more like a guardian, right? It can one-shot headshot at any range. It's super accurate. You can ADS with it. It's more of a guardian than anything else. And I'm going to show you in this round that NRG literally almost, wins said round. So they decide on their eco round, let's stack A, maybe try to go for, A main aggression again. Hopefully they run into a stack. They only have a Sova drone, right? So if the Sova drone isn't here, then maybe they, they end up coming over to us. So eventually, I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. Eventually they start pushing this A main area. Astra pushes, she dies, but this Chamber, Android's hitting some nasty shots here. Let me replay this for you. I'm going to rewind it just a little farther back just to give you a better feel of the round and how it went out. So Sova drones their jet into A main, spots the jet, doesn't see anything else, right? So Astra goes for a peek, doesn't see anybody, she's running up. I don't know if the comms were, obviously, but because Chamber hit these 2 nasty shots, he just made it a 3 versus 3. I don't know how much ammo he has left in his sheriff, but they also have 2 Spectres down now. So now this is a completely winnable round, all because of Sheriff's... I said Chamber and Sheriff. All because of Chamber's Q ability, and I think that's pretty insane, I'm not going to lie. I mean, they don't end up winning the round, but I still think that it's pretty crazy. The smoke goes away, maybe he gets another one, and maybe their jet gets one, and then it's a 2v3, and then it's a really winnable round. They won their eco round. But yeah, his sheriff is really good in the right hands, and I think this round sort of proved that, and it really helps your team's eco rounds aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Eco rounds aren't as hard to win with a Chamber on your team. So that being said, let's go to the next round. All right, so I'm taking us to round 4. And this is where Chamber's op really just, it goes to show how strong it is. This isn't the round I was talking about previously. This is a different round, but like I said, his op is like just dumb strong. You're really fast with it. You scope in really quick. It's literally, quite literally, a Marshall on steroids, and crack at the same time. But I want to just show how much utility they're using to clear him out. So the Killjoy turret's pinging him off. They haven't forced him out of this cubby yet. He has no reason to move. The Sova arrow's there. He's still here. He doesn't care. So they had to use... I think... Did Sova use his drone there? I thought he used his drone. Did he? Okay. He almost used it. But what I'm saying is that the Chamber requires a ton of utility to actually clear out, and this is it's just really annoying. And not only that, like, look, so they just saw him bot mid, right? And then because of the way his TPs are set up, he has his TP sort of like what is it, bot mid over here by himself, and then he goes to TP in a catwalk. They don't know where he went. Yeah, the TPs are kind of obvious, but like goes for a repeak. Like Chambers' op is just so annoying. Like, and then once he TPs away, you don't have any other utility to clear him out. Once you use your arrow and your drone, like what else are you going to use? I mean, I guess you have KO knife, right? So then that sort of brings up the discussion of, if Chamber becomes really good, does that mean KO's really good? Because then he can't use his sheriff and he can't use his op and whatnot. Like before, let's say for example, Chambers, you're not playing Chamber, you have like a Cypher instead. If KO like knifes the Chamber, he can't op, but like if you knife the Jet, she could still op. You know what I mean? So like that raises the question, if Chamber becomes really good, that I think that makes if Chamber becomes really good, I think that makes KO really meta. So it was just a quick clip to show you that, you know, Chamber's op it's pretty dumb, and I think it's really strong and arguably one of the best ults in the game. I'm not gonna lie. In the right hands, it looks pretty overpowered in some rounds. So let's go to the next one now. All right, so we're on round 6, and this is just another clip showing off how Chambers, he can play, like I mentioned before, he can play deeper off angles than Reyna and Jet and not get punished for it. Because if Reyna whiffs, she can't dismiss away, obviously. And if Jet whiffs, yeah, she could dash away, but she can still, like, take chip damage, I guess, or get wall banged if she, like, just misses the wall or whatever. You know what I mean? Chamber can play dumber angles than Reyna and Jet can. This clip here is going to prove that to you. So as you see, XSET's getting ready to contact up B, which is, it's hard to do against a Chamber, right? Like, you can't really contact up against a Chamber because you can't clear every possible off angle that the guy could be. Like, you can't. It's impossible. You can't clear this angle. Like, let's look at this. Let's look at this again. In what time are you clearing this Chamber? Like, when are you pre-firing this angle? When are you clearing this angle? That's never. Like, she's looking at the corner. She's not actually looking at the Chamber. And then not only that, you can't trade that. How are you supposed to? And then the drone comes in, which might have been a mistake on XS's part, but it's really annoying to play against because you can't trade that out. You know, like, what are you going to do? So XSET gets stuffed here, and then that's not really the end of his kit that I want to talk about. But when he's backside, I really want to know where this TP's at. I think it's on one of the boxes. I don't know what level, right? But eventually it's a 2v4. Sova's trying to isolate this Chamber backside. Android hits a nice shot on the Astra, right? But Sova knows he's back here. Oh, he's going to push me. He's going to push me. Yep, I'm out. Like, that's so dumb. He regroups with his team. He doesn't give the Sova a 1v1. Granted, that was kind of a niche situation, but I still think that's pretty neat that he was able to do that. So that was pretty cool. Again, you really need to use utility to clear him out. So pretty dumb. I don't think I need to cut. I think I can go straight to the next round because this next clip is pretty special. So even when you use utility to clear him out, Chamber becomes pretty brain dead. I'm not gonna lie, and you're gonna see what I mean here in a minute. So eventually XSET decides to regroup towards B main, and Chamber's still holding this with an off angle. So Chamber hears this drone coming, and if he gets tagged, it's gonna be a lot harder for him to do anything, even if he does TP away, because they know exactly where he's at. He can get Sova ulted, you know, XYZ. And usually good players know that when the Sova drone's coming or a Skydog's coming, that there are usually people going to be behind said drone or dog, right? So the drone goes up. Chamber knows that the drone's coming. He runs at the drone, and Jet and Reyna can't do this. Only Chamber can make plays like this, right? So let me just show you in full time instead of me pausing it every 2 seconds. Let me show you what the play looks like. So Sova drone's up. He literally runs at them, kills the Killjoy, and it's so hard to trade that he still gets out, and it's crazy. And then not only that, he gets the information that all of them are there for his Sova to ult like this. So like I said, he gets that information the same way a Cypher or Killjoy would, but he's good for one, and he just uses his guns, and it's really strong. He baits for his team. Like, it was just a really good play. Really fun to watch. So Chamber's really fun, and yeah, Chamber's just fun. So let's go to the next round. All right, so round 9. Chamber's going to put himself into we got a little different setup. He's not playing B this time, but he's playing with his KO, and they're playing, Chamber's playing in Wind, which is, you're going to see, is really hard to clear out. So if you thought clearing Jet and Reyna was possible with utility, you're about to see that this is just as stupid. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. So Jet and Killjoy are sort of working this A main here. They try to molly him out. They don't molly him out. They can't. Chamber's still here. They try to suck him out. He can't. He's still there. KO, I think, might have overextended here a little bit. Let me just watch this. So he flashes. Yeah, he probably doesn't need to repeat there, especially with the suck going off. But it's all right. But Chamber's still unwind. They used a molly. They used a suck. They know he's still down there because the molly broke, and you know Chamber or KO tried to help him out, and Killjoy's been watching this angle. They know he hasn't left yet. They're like, yeah, this dude's still back here. This dude's still back here. Okay, well, I'm gonna put the LT down. And now that the KO's there, the knife goes in, then he TPs away. Do you know how much utility that Chamber just wasted just from his E ability? He wasted a suck, a molly, and a KO knife. That's important utility. And I just think that's really annoying that they have to use all that to clear him out. Otherwise, he's probably going to be good for one, and then he still gets away. So, yeah. Chamber's really annoying. A good chamber is going to be really annoying to play against. Oh, and quickly, this was a cool off angle that I saw. If you're trying to clear hell, if there's a guy like swinging it, kind of. Watch from Zek in here. He knows the guy's down here. Gets on this little ledge. Little wallbang angle. So that was pretty cool. And that's going to do it for defense. I'm not going to show us a lot of offense because there's not really much to show. At least not from this game when I watched it. Like I said, Chambers really, he holds map control, peeks for info, and needs to be careful with his life because if he dies, then his team loses a lot of set map control. So I'm going to take us to our last and final round 15. So I'll see you there. All right, so round 15. Like I said before, Chamber's really good at holding map control, and it's hard to peek a Chamber because he can get out for free, and you really don't want to peek him and give him those 1v1s that he's looking for. But sometimes you have to, right? So if you look at the setup here, Chamber's got a little alarm bot posted upside B main, so they know when he pushes, and then he has his TP. He put one in fridge, and then you're gonna see. I'll just let the round play out. But he's holding mid control for his team pretty well. Granted, his TP isn't in the best spot, in my opinion. I think that if someone were to peek him or something, he'd be kind of screwed because he can't really TP away. But he has one in fridge, which is okay. And then you're going to see he's going to start working up A main, or mid here, I mean. So he has his TP in fridge. Now this clip's kind of funny. So he puts his other TP here. And the way that chamber teleports work is that the one that you are closer to, you will teleport to the opposite one, if that makes sense. So you really need to be careful when placing your teleports. What I'm saying is, I think he should have put it down in tiles. I don't really think you need to put it in a fridge up that high. I think that's kind of a little risky and kind of a throw, but he's clearing his angles. He's one shot. He decides, okay, now is the time to get away. I whiffed. I need to get out. But what he doesn't realize is that he was closer to his fridge TP than he was his mid one. So let me just show you that again. It was kind of funny. So like he breaks the alarm body, he's taking peeks at people. Maybe he gets one there. It's really strong, and for him to be able to get away like that for free is pretty cool. But again, he kind of misplayed. But my next video is going to be about chamber, but on Icebox, and I think you'll have another good demonstration as to how powerful this agent can be, especially in the right hands. So I hope you guys learned something from this. Oh, I know I did. Pick up some chamber. He's really fun. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.